Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen. Allincrypto here, and welcome back, guys, for another daily cryptocurrency market update. We do try and release one of these updates every single day at 1 p.m. UK time. Today, however, we are a little bit later due to having some interviews that we're very excited to release next week that we've had to film. However, we are going to be making up for it, and we are going to be doing a daily market update, perhaps just a little bit later than usual, but it's going to be a jam-packed one. Yesterday was a real pivotal day, I feel, for the crypto space. Of course, you had BlackRock filing for an Ethereum trust in Delaware, which they did with Bitcoin pre-actually going for a Bitcoin spot ETF. So this is a huge move by BlackRock. It gives a lot of questions that need to be asked, like, is Ethereum now not a security and under the scrutiny, in their opinion, of the SEC? And what does that mean for the broader market and some of these other layer ones out there? And are we going to see a filing for an actual spot ETF? And of course, we've looked at in yesterday's video where we broke the news, what happens when you have a spot ETF for the likes of gold back in 2004 in the US, and previously the S&P in 1993. I'm not quite sure which one, I can't quite remember, but if you look at the trajectory of what those two assets did, those ETFs did for the underlying asset, it propelled them. And Bitcoin's going to go through a similar thing. We've been continuing to iterate that. Now Ethereum, you are going to move into a world, ladies and gentlemen, where you do have altcoin ETFs. You know, it's an inevitability, in my opinion. This is the new asset class, and it still sits at a measly $1.3 trillion. It's going to get into the tens, in my opinion. So we're going to start there. Then we're going to move on to Jerome Powell, who, I mean, please tell me you guys watched him dropping the F-bomb. I had a little bit more admiration for Jerome Powell after that when he was attacked by a climate change activist. Now, I do believe in saving the planet. I just think it's a little bit lackluster how these people are going about doing it, and rather unsensical, you know, blocking roads and stuff like that when they've often traveled in their own cars to get to those roads, and, you know, splashing art. And it's, to me, you know, we're all for saving the planet. We're all for, you know, but I think there's better ways of doing it. And attacking Jerome Powell's speech, it didn't really make a lot of sense to me, but he did drop the F-bomb. The reason we're bringing up the speech, of course, is because of the ramifications that it had on the broader markets. You saw quite a nasty sell-off straight after the BlackRock news. This is very typical when you have big news. People will look to fill shorts and they'll wreck late longs that are aping in on the news and longs that are already existing that liquidity will basically close the gap to. And you saw some dollar strength. And if you guys will know, for me, it's all about the dollar. You get the direction of the dollar right, you're going to get the direction of your assets right. And the dollar is strong by all accounts. Yes, it broke out of a range. Non-farm payroll was pivotal, but it's seen strengths too. Is this just a retest rather than an extended one that you're now going to roll over into? We'll look at where we're wrong on that, and you're going to see high continuation. That's going to be downward pressure on crypto and assets generally. We'll look at the stock market and everything. But let's start the video off where promised. Now, this is an article that we published pretty much minutes after it broke. If you guys aren't already checking out our website, allincrypto.com is the website. We've got price charts and everything so you can keep up to date. But essentially, you had Summers Things, we'll go over to the tweet, who I believe was the first person to find this, drop the fact that the iShares Ethereum Trust has just been registered in Delaware. For context, BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust was registered in a similar manner 7 days before they filed the ETF application with the SEC. Details are below. This was actually confirmed by a Bloomberg analyst. So the senior ETF analyst actually over at Bloomberg, you know, had confirmed this himself. This is a huge move. And let's find Ethereum actually and look at what its price has done since that. So this was the news essentially. You've definitely ran into resistance. You're likely going to do something like this and see that continuation. It's go time for the cryptocurrency space, ladies and gentlemen. And we have been positioning for this year. We were out the market in 2022, rightly, back in at the start of 2023, caught the Bitcoin 15K bottom perfectly. And ultimately, altcoins, it's been a bit more of a turbulent ride, but they, you know, the sun is starting to shine on them essentially, and you are getting the first lambs of spring. And we think we've got a fruitful time ahead. And we don't just think that because technically we look at the crypto space, we've got an overview on the kind of economic situation, and we think the shit doesn't hit the fan until later on. Okay. And we've took that view this year. And we don't think actually, and Larry Fink reiterated this, that you're going to have that landing that people are talking about really until potentially the end of 2024, 2025. And that's what are the markets going to do in the meantime? Well, we've assessed based on historical price action overlaid with rates that the markets actually rally under high rates. Believe it or not, very contrary to what people believe. So we've got this overall view. Of course, we're getting great fundamental news to back this up with the ETF. This is a really big deal, guys. It genuinely is, because it gives a level of credibility to the space with Bitcoin ETF, now Ethereum ETF. Are you going to get more ETFs being filed? Like Solana's been ripping, for example. I wouldn't be surprised if something comes out in regards to that, or some of these other layer ones. You know, so it's a very exciting time. And I think you guys on the other end of the screen, and I want you all to give yourselves a pat on the back. Certainly, if you stuck with the crypto space during the hard times, you hopefully are going to reap the rewards of the good times. And I am a living proof that works. As somebody that, you know, lost a load of money because of the 2007 hype, stuck around, really started to understand and gain the scope of just how colossal this industry is and is going to become. And then, of course, reap the rewards in 2020, 2021. And have been able to play the markets quite well since. And we've been sort of taking you guys on that journey with us. I'm very proud of that. And, you know, this channel is for you guys at the end of the day. And we wish you all the success in the world. We really do. I think that life is a game broadly when it comes to finance. And one way of excelling in that game is to learn the rules of it from an investment point of view. And investing actually can change your life, even off a very small amount of money. Not just in crypto generally. I do think that certainly compound interest is a true wonder. But yesterday you had Jerome Powell speaking. He was literally rushed by, you know, you can see in the background here, we won't play it, and we certainly won't play him dropping the F-bomb. But he was rushed and they closed the curtains and he basically said, you know, just shut the something door, which kind of made him a little bit more human in my eyes. And Jerome Powell is a human. It's not a job that I would personally want. I don't know why Jerome's doing it. He's got more than enough money. He's had an okay career so far. It's a tightrope the Fed's walking with the bond market, really, and how do they solve that? But some of the main points that he reiterated were, Powell says Fed won't hesitate to tighten more if appropriate. Powell says the Fed will continue to move carefully. Almost a bit of a contradictory statement there. Powell not confident we've achieved a stance to hit 2% inflation. Powell attuned to risk of being misled by data and over tightening. So polarizing. The opening statement, I think, has somewhat propelled the dollar a little bit. It's all about dollars, and we've shown you this with looking at risk. Let's just do it again quickly, guys. Because if I'm talking about it, I need to show what I'm saying. You know, risk ran into a tree, a truck, a wall, inflation spiking, which of course has propelled the dollar. It did very well on the literally perfect bottom correlation. We're now still got the draw tool on there. Forgive me, guys. We're now looking for risk going down. The dollar going down and risk going up, and we've sort of prejudged that based on a weekly candle we had back at the start of October. It's followed suit. You've seen that dollar weakness. Hopefully, this is a sort of key moment with the non-farm in this candle. This turns out to be nothing more than a sort of retest, although it's getting into sort of, you know, halfway mark in this range we wouldn't like to see crossed, and certainly running here would mean we're wrong and risk is likely going to face a little bit more headwind. Remember, you are going into Christmas, and you often do have a sort of Christmas rally, if you will, and I do expect that to take place again. And Bitcoin being very strong, and this is what makes us think this is a bull, because in a bear environment this would have fizzled and faded, and you'll listen to what the market's telling you. You know, when you're looking at a chart, you're really looking at the insider's footprints. We are doing very well as a group right now. It's very rewarding, and I'm talking about my Patreon, to see people now reaping the rewards of the hard work they put in. And the altcoins that we've got are doing very, very well, and we expect this to continue. And we don't think the bulk for the altcoin market has really took place yet at all. You know, if we look at altcoins minus Bitcoin, it's not even broken out yet. Chainlink is a great example of something that we championed and that has done very well. This will take a rest at some point, and you take advantage of weakness in a bull market, and you know, you look for those entries if you've not already. But Bitcoin has been just unbelievably strong. We do have a head and shoulders target that takes us to 40-ish plus K. We've also got a bull flag that could get us there. I think that's exactly where you're going to go to. You're going to run into volume, and then you're probably going to have more of a longer rest than we've seen after a real impulsive move. We kept you bullish here, here, and here, and ultimately, and here certainly, and it's paid off. So very happy. Jerome Powell's sort of statements put a bit of a dampener perhaps on things. The stock market isn't doing too well, to be honest. I'm not sure what we've got here. But this is good. This is strength, right? Bull market strength. And we've got higher targets for the stock market. What I'd like to see play out now is, and I actually will draw the target of where this is going to take us. Something like this take place. I want to see a weaker right shoulder. Just make sure I'm on log for this. Into a break. It's going to propel you. And you're seeing this on other stocks like Microsoft, for example, which was our literal poster child in regards to what we were looking at. You know, we were bullish down here. We said it's going to go and hit all-time highs. It did that, pulled off, and now you're just getting a retest. Bit of a cup and handle forming into continuation. So we're bulls across the board, and crypto will benefit and bask in that sum. Huge fundamental news coming out, huge technical patterns being formed, certainly on some of the altcoins. You know, it's a good time all around, and very happy, like I said, to be on that journey with each and every one of you. That is all we've got for you in this video, guys. If you have enjoyed this content, like us, appreciate it as a comment, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks for watching. See you in the next.